Right, well, hello. So, the last few days, couple of days, we've had an absolute deluge of rain. So my poor concrete pad is soaking. And my roof, I've had to quickly throw plastic onto the roof to try and save the boards. But the roof is fairly wet now. So thankfully today the sun's come out and it's quite windy, so I've taken the plastic off. I've brushed as much of the water as I can off this concrete, and I'm hoping that it will dry. The wall and everything is wet, everything's wet. So hopefully we'll get some dry today, and I'm just going to crack on with the beams around here. Hopefully be able to be ready to put boards on over this space so that we can stop as much water landing here as possible, because I think we're going to have more days of rain. First job, this beam, the 6-inch beam, is going to be one of the beams that the roof light rests on. And the upstand has to be at least 150 mil above the top of the roof surface. So it has to go up to the roof surface, comes along here, and then the upstand has to be 150 mil at least high. But no, it doesn't want to be too high either. So it has to be 150 mil high, higher than the roof surface. So here's our roof. This is all the effects of the rain of the last few days. Even though there was a plastic cover on here, this has got very wet because the rain has come down and obviously gone under the cover. But some of it's dry, so obviously that's water affected. Most of it's dry. There's a bit of water effect there, and this is very water affected. So just hoping that it'll dry out as we go through the day. Okay, so here's my beam, and this is the underside. So what's going to happen is there's going to be 1 inch 25 mil insulation board, and then a 12 mil board of this type. So we will be going up from here 18 mil plus 25 mil plus 12 mil. So 18 mil plus 12 mil is 30 mil, and 25 mil added to that is 55 mil. So this is currently, it's about 15 mil. This is about 15 mil from the bottom of that board. So if we add 55 mil to 15, we get 70 mil. So we've got 70 millimeters, and then we've got to add 150. So we add 150 to 70, we get 220. So 220 mil, which is nearly 9 inches. So that's bang on. So if we put our 9-inch on top of our 6-inch here, then this should be about 220, and it is just over 220. So that's the perfect height for the upstand. So here we're using a 6-inch beam and a 9-inch upstand, and then the roof lantern will come onto that. So if we put a 9-inch beam on top of our 6-inch beam here, that gets us to our minimum upstand height on this part. Now this is a 6-inch beam because it's going to land on this pillar, so the span is only from there to there. So what I'm planning to do is have a 9-inch beam going across in this way, and so that will need, the reason why that's 9 inches because that doesn't have a pillar to rest on. Now it's overkill because this 6-inch beam tripled up is fine, it's strong enough to hold this roof, but I'm just over engineering it because we've got the weight of the glass to come, and I just want to make sure this is very, very rock solid. Also, what I plan to do is put some hooks on here, or even a screw eye bolt through here, so that I can use it to hold things up in the garage. You know, so if I ever wanted a mini car engine lifted up, I could put a hoist, and I can attach it onto here and pull it up because I know it's strong enough. So it's just foreshadowing anything any crazy project in the future that I might want to do. If I make them strong, then there's no problem. This beam is a follow-on, and it's an extrapolation of the fall of the roof. So my idea of putting the 9-inch at the level of there is a little bit wonky because I'm going to be above the height of the roof there, so I can't do that. So the highest I can do is, the next best I can do is put it at the same height. Because that way, whatever I add there, I can add here. I want to keep it the same height, so I'm going to try and keep this, the top of this, the same height as the top of the 6-inch. So that means hanging it at that point there. So I've made this wall plate previously, and I'm not that keen on it now. I would like to put a 9-inch wall plate on there, and then what I can do is I can hang this 9-inch directly onto a 9-inch wall plate, and I can cut the groove out and actually have half of it slotted in. So that's what I want to do. So I'm going to take this wall plate down and make a 9-inch one and put the 9-inch one up. Okay, well, I haven't been able to film much of this, but as you can see, I've got my wall plate temporarily installed, and I've just used these screws that drive straight into brick, and then I'm going to be putting a wall anchors in here as well to make it permanent. And now I managed to cut my slot out for my 3 9x2s. I have a laser pointer. So this laser pointer here is on the angle of the roof, and it's firing up, so it'll have the same slope on it, and it's aiming over there. So I also know that this is 47 millimeters too high, this laser pointer. So so here is where the laser pointer's aiming, on that black line there. So that black line is actually 47 millimeters too high. So actually I need to take a line 47 millimeters below that. So I need, this whole beam needs to come down 95 mil. So I'm cutting this waste out that I've marked on both ends of the beam. This beam is currently level, so let's do it. Oh, that's quite painful on my broken cog oil. I don't think I'll be doing that. Whew. Right. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's try the other end. Okay, if I'm going to do this perfectly, I need to cut a little bit of an angle on this. So I've got this angle, which we can use to measure it. Perfect. So that's the angle. Undo this bolt here. Tilt and tighten. This is not fine joinery, but it makes sense to do it right. So the angle is that way, so the blade is that way, so this is the right thing. So let's try it. very close. Well, it's in. The question is it the right height, and is it level? Okay, that's level. The laser is 47 mil above that beam. So our laser should be 47 millimeters above the beam. And it's not, it's 37. So got something slightly wrong there, but doesn't matter because 37 is more than we need. So it would have been nice if they were exactly the same height, but it doesn't matter that it's 37. So I didn't quite get this right. I cut that, and we need to move the bearing point about 10-12 mil that way. So I've just circular sawed down here. I'm going to chop it out with a screwdriver, sorry, not a screwdriver, a chisel and mallet. So that should be good. fits. But the other one did.